Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you a journal that I made using a vintage sewing envelope. So this is an envelope that I bought from somebody off of Whatnot, and I just took a file folder and I glued it to the file folder, and then I machine stitched around the outside. I've put fabric on the spine, and then on the back you can see the date of the journal right here. It says 1975, and I kind of made this a summer themed journal. I just thought these girls were so cute, with this little girl being, she looks like she might be a little sassy, and she's got the soda in her hand. So I used some kits from Echo Park. I used Dive Into Summer and Pool Party were the two kits that I used for some of the pages in here. So let's go ahead and open it up. This is crinkle seam binding, by the way. I did my own crinkle seam binding. I just took the seam binding and I spritzed it with water, scrunched it up, and let it sit and dry. And then I've got some ribbon detail over here. I did keep the flap for the envelope, sorry about the shake there, and so I made this a little hidden journaling pocket right here, so that just unwinds and you lift this up, and I've got a couple journaling cards in here, and then I've got a pocket right here. This is with the same fabric that I have on the spine, and I've just put a journaling card in there, and I've got some notepad papers that are just from my stash. So I've got this notepad paper and then this list paper. Okay, and then this is a one signature journal. I've got a decorated paper clip here with a journaling card, and this is using the tissue from the pattern. So I did a decorated bingo card and backed it with some paper. I've got some list paper, another list paper in here, and then I've got this little, this is a sticker from the kit, and I just put it onto some scrapbook paper and stuck it underneath that clip. This is from the instructions from the pattern. I like including those in there as a page. This is some resume paper lined with some lace trim. I've got a coloring page here with some seashells on it. This is a book from a Curious George, a vintage Curious George book, and it's all about the seasons, so I included the summer one in here. And then I've got a little decorated paper clip with one of these little 2x2 squares from the Echo Park kit. Then on the other side I have another 2x2 square, and this is the other side of the Curious George coloring book, activity book. This is some notebook, some note paper that and it came with envelopes. I found it at Goodwill, I believe. This is just a glued together strip that I made as a page tab for this. And then over here, I've just got some scrapbook paper here. This is some ribbon that I added to the edge. So underneath the paper clip, I have a bridge score sheet, and I just thought that sunflower was very summery. And then underneath this belly band, this is again from the tissue from the pattern, and I decorated it with some stickers. Then this is a journaling card. This is just another journaling card using the tissue paper from the pattern. I backed it with some scrapbook paper. And then this is a notepad that I got. I thought the fireflies were very summery, and I just covered up. It's a St. Jude, you can kind of see it on the back, but it's a St. Jude notepad, and I just covered that up with a sticker from the scrapbook kit. And then on the other side, got another little 2x2 square here. This is a page from a children's songbook that I got at an antique store. So it is vintage. And I just thought swinging, thought it was very summery. This is another piece of the instructions from the pattern. And I made this a flip out. This is some tea dyed paper, and I used a stencil on the tea dyed paper. And then I've got a little tab up here using the fabric from the spine. Okay, and the next page, this is some scrapbook paper, and I covered it with some rickrack, some silver and green rickrack trim, and then I've just got a journaling card right here under this paper clip, and it's got part of the pattern on the other side. I'll probably go back and try to find some stickers to put on that. I think I forgot about that one. This side I've just got a vintage playing card that's got some butterflies on it, and it's orange, so I thought it matched this. This is from a children's drawing book, or How to Draw Children. It's a vintage book that I found at an antique store. I've got a page tab here, and then on the other side it's talks about how to draw children. This is from a vintage Jack and Jill book magazine, children's magazine, and it's all about names of plants. So I thought that would be fun to include that. And then this is the other side, the article. Here's another page from the instructions for the pattern. This is some scrapbook paper. I've got one of those 2x2 squares up here under this paper clip. And then this is the center of the journal. So I've got another 2x2 square up here. If you hear my dog, she's outside barking. So this is a journaling card that I made, and I used the part of the file folder. I liked that, and I put some stickers on there, backed it with some scrapbook paper. Same with this one. I put a little sticker on there. This is just plain on the back side. And then I've got a list paper here. Over here, I've got a tag with some stickers from the scrapbook paper pack, and I've got some, this is backed with some paper. It looks like I need to erase that, so I'm going to leave that out so I can fix that one. I need to erase my pencil marks. I've got another part of the tissue paper from the pattern backed with scrapbook paper, and then a list here. And then I will probably try to find some charms to put on the end of this so they can dangle down out the bottom of the journal. The other side of the instructions for the pattern. This is the other part of the Jack and Jill magazine, and then names for plants. This is the other side of that drawing book, and I just made it into a flip out, and I put a glued together strip here. And then I've got another vintage playing card that said summer on it. It's a Norman Rockwell card, and I just thought it was so cute, and it said summer, then went with my theme. Have another belly band here that I put a journaling card in, and then more of my list paper. On the edge of this page, I've got some yellow rickrack. On this side, I've got, this is not a vintage playing card, but it is a strawberry playing card. And my tea-dyed paper with a page tab here. And you can really see the stencil on this side. This is instructions from the pattern. This is the other side of that songbook, that children's songbook. It's actually the teacher's book for the children's songbook. And then my scrapbook paper with a little 2x2 square up here. And I have some ruffled elastic on the edge of this page. On this side, got another 2x2 square. Down here, I've just got a little side tuck pocket here, and I made just a little mini journal. I took these 2x2 squares were next to each other in this scrapbook pack, and so I cut them out and just folded it in the center and made a little mini journal. And then I just stuck that down here in this pocket. Got this note paper here, this letter writing paper with a tab. This is the Curious George activity book with a little 2x2 square up here. And the other side of that with this square that says Summer 11, which makes me want to sing the Grease song. And then I've got the coloring page. This is resume paper, and I've got this ribbon on the edge here. More instructions. And then this is the back of the signature. I've got this Endless Sunshine, sorry, up here. And then this is a Sesame Street flashcard that I just backed with some scrapbook paper, but it said the word sun on it, which I thought was very summery. This is some notebook paper that I got from, I went on a vacation to Beaver Island, Michigan, and I bought this at a toy store that is on the island, and so I've just been using some of these papers here and there in my journals. And then I've got another fabric tag down here with the fabric from the spine. And then on the other side of here I got some more of that St. Jude paper, and I've covered it up with a camera sticker. In this back pocket I've got some list papers. I've got this list paper which just unfolds. So that is my sewing journal. If you would like to see a full process, just let me know in the comments and I can make another one. On the top, I do have these fabric and washi tape and paper flags on my paper clips. So those were fun to make. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope you all have a great day. I will talk to you later. Bye.